Amateur radio Newsline will start in 5 minutes.
W8WKY. Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2424 with the release date of Friday, April 12th, 2024, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams help shed light during a solar eclipse. 3D RF filters find a future in wireless devices, and high-terror radios are banned from sales worldwide. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2424 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Our top story this week brings the latest chapter in a long, simmering patent dispute between Motorola and Hytera. A U.S. federal court in the Northern District of Illinois has prohibited Hytera Communications, a major provider of two-way radios, from selling, distributing, or importing its radios, quote, until further notice, end quote, requiring the company to pay a daily fine of $1 million to the court if they do not comply. Even as it acted in compliance with the U.S. court injunction, Hytera separately announced that it was withdrawing its own counterclaims against Illinois-based Motorola that it had filed in a Shenzhen court. Hytera has denied claims that its H-series radios have infringed on Motorola's trademark and copyright. The U.S. court injunction banning the radio's global sales came just as Hytera was preparing to show at ISC West, a major security conference being held in Las Vegas, Nevada, starting on April 9th. When getting on the air from a national park isn't a POTA activation, but a call for help, other hams are always there, as one new operator in California discovered. We hear this story from Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
A distress call from an amateur radio operator stranded in Death Valley mobilized some quick-acting amateur radio operators, some of them hundreds of miles away, to get the ham and his family some assistance. According to personal accounts and media reports, Moritz Wacker, KO6DZX, was camping with his family on Friday, April 5th, when their vehicle became stuck in the mud. Caleb Gustwiller, KD8TGB, and Craig Rower, KE8QJV, were among those who picked up his weak distress call on 28.430 megahertz. The stranded ham had his radio along for the trip and used it. Caleb said in an email to Newsline that he and other hams who were listening, including fellow members of the Black Swamp Amateur Radio Club, heard him faintly in Ohio. Those hams, along with many others, posted on the Parks on the Air page on Facebook to get the word out, and still others called the county sheriff in Death Valley and police in San Diego, which QRZ.com lists as the ham's address. Other radio operators reached out to the National Parks Service Police. Caleb said it was an all-out effort from various locations. Caleb told Newsline that the stranded ham is a relatively new licensee. This was apparently a camping trip, not a POTA outing, but contacts made with the Xiegu G90 and quarter-wave vertical did the trick. According to all accounts, rangers found the family and they were back home safely that night. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
The recent solar eclipse over North America gave hams a chance to give back to science in a big way. As big as the sun itself, you might say. Sil MB, KB3TZD, has that story.
The day after the April 8th solar eclipse, logs were already rolling in from hams and radio clubs in North America who had taken part in the solar eclipse QSO party. The party's organizer, the citizen science group HamSci, was already embarking on its next big challenge, to study the logs and the results of other propagation experiments that were taking place concurrently. The inboxes were filling up fast, according to HamSci's public information officer, Ed F. Chack, WX2R. Ed told Newsline in a phone call one day later, quote, "We are certainly very, very happy with yesterday. A lot of people were on the air who understood that from the standpoint of science, you have to populate to propagate. That population included the Suffolk County Radio Club, W2DQ. which set up a field day-style operation outside an eastern Long Island library where it operated SSB and FT8. It was also a chance to educate visitors, as Club Vice President Ed Wilson, N2XDD, explained the ham's roles in the ionospheric studies. Meanwhile, HamSci reported that whisper data was already coming in from a concurrent event, the Gladstone Signal Spotting Challenge. He said valuable results were collected as well from HamSci's personal weather stations, the time delay of arrival experiment, and the medium wave recordings experiment. Conclusions are, of course, a long way off, but visitors to Hamvention in Ohio next month will be hearing more of what's to come. This is LMB, KP3, TZD.
If you were involved in the QSO party and haven't already done so, upload your logs in ADI or Cabrillo format following the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. Scientists at NASA have identified a damaged memory chip that compromised Voyager 1's transmissions. We have more details from Travis Lisk and 3ILS.
NASA engineers are confident they have traced the source of the garbled data that was coming from the deep space probe Voyager 1. According to the NASA website, one of the onboard computers was found to have corrupted memory and that a single chip within the flight data subsystem failed, causing this to happen. Since November, any science and engineering data sent to Earth has been garbled. Engineers were able to link the small percentage of corrupted data to that single memory chip. Whether the failure was the result of wear and tear after 47 years of flight or something else, NASA engineers are now hopeful that they can fashion an alternate method of keeping Voyager 1 on the job. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
There's still time left for high school seniors or college students to apply for assistance from the OMIC Scholarship Fund. This nonprofit organization was established as a separate entity by the OMIC Amateur Radio Association to fulfill the mission of motivating youth in their education. The fund supports those pursuing studies in electronics, science, mathematics, or communications. The deadline for applications is the 1st of May. Previous year's scholarships were supported in part by grants from Amateur Radio Digital Communications. For additional details on how to apply, see the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This year has not been kind to broadcast radio towers in the United States. The latest towers to be destroyed are in West Virginia, but this time it was by an act of nature, a fierce windstorm with gusts up to 90 miles an hour. Jim Dameron, N8TMW, has that report.
High winds have destroyed 2 of the 4 towers serving the West Virginia Metro News Network's flagship radio station, WCHS-AM, and its sister FM station. WCHS, a news, talk, and sports broadcaster, is known as the Voice of Charleston. The AM radio station, which broadcasts on 580 kilohertz with a 5 kilowatt signal, is the primary entry point emergency alert system for West Virginia. Its programming serves the southern and southwestern part of the state. The tower damage also affected AM station WSWW, which broadcasts on 1490 kilohertz. That station, an ESPN radio affiliate, returned to its regular sports programming a day later. A pair of FM translators also broadcast the station signals on 95.7 and 104.5 megahertz. A report on the Radio World website showed photos of the wreckage. Questions remained on how or when the towers would be replaced. On a personal note, I had the privilege of working at WCHS Radio several years ago. This is Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
We're getting closer to deadline time for this year's Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Let Newsline know of any promising young amateurs who are deserving of this honor. Candidates must live in the continental United States and be 18 years of age or younger. Tell our judges about your nominee's talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. This is your chance to help honor and acknowledge that person who will, no doubt, go on to teach and inspire others. Find the nomination form on our website at arnewsline.org under the Awards tab. Nominations close on May 31st. It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the ZS0MOT repeater in Middelburg, South Africa, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. local time. Fans of open source software for radio will be attending a conference later this year, and the presenters are needed, as we hear from Andy Morrison, K9, AWM.
The 14th annual conference, focusing on the free open-source software development tool known as GNU Radio, is looking for presenters. Developers and users from around the radio community are invited to Knoxville, Tennessee in September to share papers, presentations, projects, and even to pose some questions to fellow radio operators, researchers, and educators. The development toolkit has been employed everywhere, from amateur radio to industry and government, to be paired with software-defined radios as well as simulated radio environments. Previous conference topics have included GNU Radio's role in atmospheric research, amateur radio, citizen science, and channel modeling. Proposals are due no later than June 17th. The conference is scheduled to start on the 16th of September. Visit gnuradio.org for details. This is Andy Morrison, K9 AWM.
A longtime radio amateur who had been active as a leader and educator in the world of public service in Canada has become a silent key. We hear about him from Dave Parks, WB8 ODF.
Angus Joe McPherson, VE1CH, died on April 6th of colon cancer at the Palliative Care Unit of the Victoria General Hospital in Halifax, Nova Scotia. First licensed in 1963 with the call sign VE1AHC, Joe enjoyed an amateur radio career that was complemented by his many professional and volunteer roles as a communicator in public service. Joe was a veteran of the Royal Canadian Navy, which he had served as a radio man. Later, he served as a volunteer telecommunications officer with the Canadian Red Cross and was a visiting instructor at the Canadian Emergency Preparedness College in Ontario. He retired from Industry Canada, formerly known as the Department of Communications, where he had worked in the cable TV section and radio regulatory division. He represented the department on NATO Civil Communications Planning Committee, many of them in Europe. In 2002, he became the first vice president of Radio Amateurs of Canada. Joe was 81. This is Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
Scientists have found a way to save space and increase performance in wireless devices by using 3D RF filters, as we hear from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
A Florida researcher has developed three-dimensional RF filters that one day may save space inside of smartphones and IoT devices, leaving more room for batteries, and someday paving the way for 6G wireless devices operating in the terahertz range. The researcher, Ruzba Tabrizian of the University of Florida in Gainesville, calls RF filters, quote, the entire backbone of wireless systems, end quote. Writing earlier this year in the journal Nature Electronics, the Florida research team explained how the 3D filters were developed to take the place of the more commonplace flat resonators, which have varying thickness depending upon the wireless frequency they are using. By comparison, the 3D resonators, known as ferroelectric gate fin, or FGF, are able to handle frequencies between 3 and 28 gigahertz. The research team has already manufactured several of them. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Hams in Spain recently got good news from the regulator. They have privileges on 40 megahertz.
Amateurs in Spain have been given access to the 8-meter band for the next 18 months, joining the hams in other countries such as South Africa, Slovenia, Lithuania, Denmark, and Ireland, who also enjoy operational propagation research privileges on 40 megahertz. In Spain, radio operators may use a maximum PEP of 25 watts for transmissions on 40.650 to 40.750 megahertz. The announcement was made by the country's Secretary of State for Telecommunications and Digital Infrastructure, which granted the permission after advocacy from the URE, the National Association for Radio Amateurs in Spain. Hams in Spain may only transmit from the fixed location to which their license is assigned, and before doing so for the first time, they must notify the telecommunications authorities. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, listen for Dominique F5PTI on the air as TM500NA from the 14th through the 28th of April to mark the 500th anniversary of the first visit made to the New York City area by European explorer Giovanni di Verrazzano. QSL via F5PTI. Listen for Janus SP9FIH and Lezek SP6CIK operating from Bhutan as A52P and A52CI respectively. They are on the air from the 19th of April through to the 4th of May, calling QRZ on 40 through 6 meters using CW, single sideband, and the digital modes. For QSL details, visit QRZ.com. There are some activations to listen for in recognition of World Amateur Radio Day and the founding 99 years ago of the International Amateur Radio Union. The Emirates Amateur Radio Society will operate with the special call sign A60WARD from the 15th through the 24th of April. The call sign will be appended by a number of different numeric extensions. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Listen to for the call sign CN99HR. Hams in Morocco will be active on the 13th through to the 21st of April, marking the IARU's anniversary. QSL directly to CN8RAH. Our last story for this week takes us to Australia, where an enterprising YL has given a gift to iPhone and iPad users who felt a bit left out in the woods when they were doing portable activations. We hear about her from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Parklands and summits are anything but a wilderness for Sue Southcott, VK5AYL. For her, inspiration grows abundantly under the canopy of trees. The retired computer programmer is the author of a free app in use by iPhone and iPad owners here in Australia and New Zealand. They make use of it to view and create spots, alerts and logging for SOTA, POTA, HEMA, WWFF, Shires and Solos on the air. She introduced the app, known as Parks and Peaks, at a meeting of the Wireless Institute of Australia in 2017. Creating it did not come easily at the time for Sue, who was still employed as a PC programmer and whose knowledge of Apple devices only included a few basics about their programming language known as Swift. So she did her homework on nights and weekends to learn it, with an eye towards filling the need for a complementary app already available to Android users. She's currently working on version 4 and at some point would like to release an international version. Best of all, Sue isn't just a programmer. She's an activator who gets to field test her own creations. One of her last activations was near the Pinnacles, spectacular limestone structures on West Australia's Coral Coast. Needless to say, both the app and the activation were a success. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
If a good day of radio is like poetry to you, pick up a pencil and join the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. Share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, the ARRL, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, Dignity Memorial, DX News, DX World, EI7GL Blog, Facebook, 425DX News, Global News, GNU Radio, Hackaday, HamSci, the IEEE Spectrum, ISC West, NASA.gov, OMIC Amateur Radio Association, QRZ.com, Radio World, shortwaveradio.de, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that encourages for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
W8WKY. Time out.
the weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes.
W8WKY.
ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. CQ! Or even QST if you want. But this is the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I was just a little late, but anyway, finishing up a trivia question for you. Here we go. Tuesday Night Net. My name is Gary. My personal call is Alpha Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra. I'll be your net control this evening. We'll use the club call W8WKY when I can remember. But that's what we'll attempt to do here. We meet on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and we encourage all amateurs to participate. This is a controlled net. Please direct traffic through net control, and as always, priority or emergency traffic may break into this net at any time. Tonight, we'll take in and out traffic, followed by a round of regular check-ins. Then we'll turn it over to me. Yeah. Eric's doing some training tonight, so we wish him good luck with that. I do believe it's Skywarn training. And so you're going to have to just suffer through it with me. I know. But every once in a while we'll give Eric a break. Okay, after the in and out traffic, we'll have a round of regular check-ins. I'll do the trivia question. But before we get started, a couple of announcements. Not really a whole lot, but nevertheless, we do have a session coming up here shortly. I think that is June 1st, maybe, I think. We'll find that out here real quick. I should be a little bit better prepared, don't you think? Education, license exams. It is June 1st. Wow, there we go. Saturday, June 1st, and that will be in Medina County. And that will be fabulous. Anyway, we'll hear more about that from Stefan. Okay, with that, I really don't have any other announcements. Anybody else have anything else going on? I think the Tusco ham radio ham fest is coming up. So anybody else have anything else before we get started?
Katie at SLG.
Thanks, Nick. I needed a minute to get myself organized here. What do you have for us?
W8WKY, this is Katie at SLG. It seems everybody who signed up for the Handy Finder build, that's going to be April 28th, I believe, is what we've come up with. And I don't remember the time off the top of my head because I'm not prepared either. So maybe you know that because I think it's at your house. This is KD8SLG back to W8WKY.
Yeah, it is going to be at the QTH here, and you would think I would know. I think it's going to be after 1 o'clock, I think, or maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. But that's we'll make sure everybody has their morning and can get church out of the way. I do believe the 28th is Sunday, and it is. So that's what we want to do. Yeah, I almost forgot about this, Nick, until you reminded me. And I do want to tell everybody else, I'm doing Nick's night tonight because he so kindly switched days with me, Tuesday night net days, so I could go to Austin, Texas. So I do appreciate that, Nick. And yeah, you had quite the week there. Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. Yeah. So Iron Man, that's you, Iron Man. Okay, that's enough of that. Anybody else have anything, any announcements for the group before we get started? Please come now. All right, as I mentioned, we'll do in and out traffic first, followed by a round of regular check-ins. When checking in this evening, please give me your call sign, your name, and your location. At this time, we'll take in and out traffic. I am so ready to rock and roll tonight. In and out traffic for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. Come on down.
508, Mike Whiskey, Camden, Barberton.
W8WKY.
This is N8EI, Jason Mobile, in and out.
WA8JR, John and Margaret.
Whiskey Victor, 3 Kilo, WV3K, Phil and Canal Fulton. Have a wonderful net, Gary.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Tango Mike, carry it. Portage Lakes, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 PLB, Randy and Rittman. I'll be in and out, 73, and God bless. Thanks for running that, Gary. Do awesome job.
KE8YCE, Jeff, Dalton, Ohio.
NHWS, Village, London, in and out.
All right, nicely done. WB8VMW was at the top of the list. Good evening to you, Jim. Good to hear you. N80I was in there, Jason. WA8JR, WV3K, Phil. W8CTM, the closer. KE8TLB, KE8YCE, and N8WS. That's who I have so far as in and out traffic. Anybody else want to say hello and jump out? No trivia question for you. Yeah, that one. If you want to join us as in and out traffic, I should say, come on down. Give me a shout. This is W8WKY standing by for your check-in.
W8WKY, this is WA8KOC. Hi, Gary. Everybody else here on the net? Hopefully you'll have a great net this evening. I'll be in and out. Sorry about that. We'll turn it back to net control. AA8CS or W8WKY, WA8KOC.
Kilo 8 Bravo Juliet, in and out.
W8CRD, Cody and Canal Fulton, in and out. 73s, everybody.
KE8, IME, David, Sterling, Ohio, in and out.
All right, nicely done again. W8GMF, good evening, Gary. KA8KOC, yeah, hi to you too, Fred. Good to hear you this evening. Let's see. Brandon was next. K8BJ, W8CRD, Cody, and K8IME, Harold from Sterling. Good to hear you this evening as well. All right. We are at the bottom of that list. We'll do one last call for in and out traffic. Come on down.
KO4 CBH, Chris in North Canton, in and out. Thank you, sir.
KA4BAH, I think that's what I copied. Well, that is what I copied. I don't know if that's correct. Can you just come back and confirm, please?
Yeah, sorry, I said that really fast. Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Bravo Hotel, Chris in North Canton, KO4 CBH.
That's all right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. KO, yeah, that's the way I feel right now, a little knocked out. KO4 CBH, got you in the log. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Okay, we're going to move on to regular check-ins. If you'd like to join us, participate in the trivia question, and whatever else comes down the pike, give me a call. This is W8WKY, standing by for check-ins.
Kilo Delta 8, Uniform Oscar Lima. Kilo Delta 8, Uniform Oscar Lima.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet, John in Norton.
Please check in KD8JNX.
Hey, Eric in Strongsville.
Please copy.
WWKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, 88 SLG, Nick in Orville.
Please copy November Tango 8 Delta, NTAD, Dave in Copley.
November 8, Juliet Echo Tango, NHAET, Bill in Avon.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, Tom in Canton.
Please check in KD8JNX, Brooker, Ripman.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Lima, Sierra. John on Echolink.
Whiskey Oscar 3 X-ray, WO3X, John and Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, nicely done. KD8UOL was at the top of the list. KE8YNJ, KD8JNX. Eric, I missed your call. Can you come back, please? All right, I know you're there, Eric. I just, and I might be able to find it here. At any rate, KD8SLG was in there next. KE8UIB, John, good morning, or good evening. I normally say good morning to you, but I'll say good evening now. NTAD, N8JET, KA8MNT, W2JLS, and WO3X. That's who I have. Anybody else before we go to the trivia question?
KF8, AKL, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha Kilo Lima, Mike in North Canton.
November 8, Lima Tango Radio,
Bill in green on RF, the way it should be. All right, we added AF8AKL and N8LTR. All right, nicely done, everybody. Let's see. I have another piece of paper around here someplace that has the trivia question on it. And where might it be? There we go. Oh, man, I tell you, I love organization. All right, let me do it this way. Okay.
W8WKY.
All right, here's the preface. Scientists estimate that the human eye can distinguish up to 10 million colors. And that's pretty impressive considering the interesting fact that we only have 3 types of color-perceiving rods in our retinas. That would be red, green, and blue. But when you think about it, all the different shades and tones of each color category, what sounds weird at first makes a whole lot more sense. The 7 best-known hues of all, of course, are the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, leaving us with 9,999,993 other colors still out there. We will investigate the origins of one color, and that is Indian yellow. Very, very rare pigment, Indian yellow. So here's the trivia question. What unusual source was historically believed to be the origin of the rare pigment Indian yellow? What unusual source was historically believed to be the origin of the rare pigment Indian yellow? And here are your distractors. A, lemon juice. B, from gold mines. C, derived from algae from the Indian Ocean. D, cow urine. E, man in the moon marigolds. Let me give you your distractors again. Letter A, lemon juice. Letter B, gold mines. Letter C, algae from the Indian Ocean. Letter D, cow urine. Letter E, man in the moon marigolds. And there you have it. Oh, yeah. Glad that's over with. Let's start at the top. KD8UOL, good evening. What say you, sir?
KD8UOL, this is Rob in Talmadge. Hello, everybody on the net. Good job on the net here, Gary. I am proud to say that I passed my amateur extra exam on Saturday, and the FCC has acknowledged such, so I'm glad for that. And I have a brand new, never used ARRL amateur extra handbook that anybody can have for free if they want to take the exam, but it's got to be before the end of June because the current question pool expires then. KD8UOL, back to net.
All right, Rob, very good. That is not a bad offer. There's a few weeks before that. If you want, we do have a meeting coming up this Thursday at 7 p.m. At the Eagles in Wadsworth. If you'd like to bring that with you, I'm sure we can find a taker for that. So anyway, Rod, thanks for doing that. And congratulations on passing your extra exam. And finally, what is your guess for the trivia question?
I'm going to go with marigolds, the flower, whatever that is.
That is a great question, and that is a great answer. And I will let you know what that is at the end of the net tonight. Okay. Again, congratulations on passing the test, and enjoy not having to look up at the chart and making sure that you're within the proper band. KD8UOL, we're clear with you. Let's pick up John, K8YNJ. John, take it away.
This is KE8YJ. Good evening, Gary. Good evening, everybody. And I was as well successful in passing the amateur extra. I did it at the Sharon Center location. Thanks, Stefan, and all the crew that was out there to put that on. So it was a result of I considered it a long time studying, but yeah, that's the way that goes. So for tonight's trivia question, I plant tons of marigolds around my garden, and they are colorful in a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm going with E on that one. So there you go. So, anyways, thanks for running the net, KE8YJ.
KE8YNJ, AA8CS, doing business tonight as WAWKY. Good to hear you, and congratulations to you as well for passing your extra. That is terrific. Yeah, and like I said, the one thing that I enjoyed about getting the extra was I didn't have to double check and triple check the frequency and making sure that I was legal. So there you have it. All right, we'll clear with John. Thanks for stopping by. Have you down for Echo. Wow, I am so pleased to hear Brooker on the air. KD8JNX, W8WKY. Good evening, Brooker. What say you?
W8WKY, KD8JNX. Good evening, everybody. And Gary. Yeah, just wanted to chum it and play around a little bit. Been a while again. Hopefully I see everybody on Thursday night. I know it's club meeting. If somebody up in the Rittman area can give me a ride, I'd much appreciate it. That's going to be about the last thing I'm going to be able to do for about 3 months. One day next week I'm getting my neck fused. They're taking 4 discs completely out of my neck, and I'm going to have my total neck fused. I did it. I really did it good this time. And they said probably gun driving truck and everything else. So yeah, I want to get fixed and feel better. But yeah, want to jump in and say good evening. Hope to see everybody on Thursday. Monday I go in for pre-op, and then after that I could get my neck done. At any time I'm on call, any cancellation I jump in. And, yeah, get my neck fused and I won't be able to turn my neck no more. I'm not going to have any discs left in my neck. It took a toll on me. 38 years. The big truck got me. I said probably I'm done, but that's okay. And back to you, Gary. Hey, nice hearing everyone. I'm going to listen out tonight. KD8JNX. I have no clue about any trivia question. I was outside talking to the neighbor. KD8JNX, clear?
All right, Brooker, good to hear you, man. It's been too long, and I look forward to seeing you at the meeting. That'll be great. It's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good one. And I'm interested in this story as to what you did this time. Sorry to hear that, actually, though, but because that's not fun, and the results, although work real well, you're a bit limited, as you alluded to there. All right, Brooker, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you on Thursday. Definitely looking forward to it. Don't forget Casa Nuestra in Rittman there. We're going to meet there about 5 o'clock. If you can't find a ride, give me a call, and I'll run up there and get you. We're going to be at Casa Nuestra anyway, so there you have it. Okay, we'll clear with JNX. And Eric, I think it's K8VZA, Eric. That's my guess. But if you checked in after Brooker there, it's your turn. This is W8WKY.
W8WKY. This is KE8VZA. Yes, Gary, you got it right. And I just wanted to mention that in reference to the BeaconNet pre-show and circling back, my use of the circle back technique, I did first learn of it through Miss Saki, but I was always left with many questions because she never closed the loop. And it wasn't until I witnessed your circle back methods that I realized that it really is possible to close the loop. So thank you for that, and I give you all credit due there. And before I forget, trivia, I'm going to go with Echo. I'm feeling lucky with the Man in the Moon marigolds. And other than that, I look forward to seeing everybody at Thursday's meeting. And this is KE8VZA, back to net control.
W8WKY.
All right, Eric. Man, I'm going to make a note here that I was right on one of these things. It doesn't happen that often. And glad you fessed up to me being the focus of your splendid use of circling back. So I just wanted to clear the record there. I was a little jilted there for a moment. But nevertheless, Eric, circling back is a skill, and it is a necessary skill, especially when you're a net control operator. Anyway, Eric, take care. And by the way, you did a great job the other night. We'll clear with KE8VZA and pick up Jeff Nick, KD8SLG. This is W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Gary, and all of the Sarah Club netizens tonight. Fine business there, Gary. Well, let's get trivia out of the way right away. My initial reaction was to go with Man in the Moon marigolds. However, I must break the chain and go with bovine urine. Cow piss. I'll go with that. Someone's got to choose it. You stole my thunder, reminding everybody about Casa Nuestra on Thursday night, but I'm going to do it again anyway. 5 o'clock-ish, come get some good Mexican food. They get us in and out of there in a timely fashion. It's reasonably priced, and we will make the meeting on time, I assure you. Sometimes there's 10 of us, sometimes there's 30 of us. So come and join us. It's a good time. As to circling back, I'd like to thank everybody who uses that phrase all the time, because the first time Gary used it, I spit coffee out my nose. And I believe that's been the impetus on using it since then. Thank you, Gary. Everyone have a great night. Hope to see you Thursday night. This is KD8SLG, back to net control.
Right, Nick. Yeah, I'm all about making sure everybody has all the latest tools in their arsenal to be an effective net control operator, and circling back is just one of the things that I picked up from our good friend, and I've refined it. As Eric mentioned, I actually do circle back. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. Anyway, Nick, thanks for being here, buddy. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you again real soon. And I think you went with CalPP, and that would be letter D. Wow, CalPP. KD8SLG, we'll clear with you. Let's pick up John, KE8UIB. Hiya, B. John. This is W8WKY.
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Gary, and everybody out there on the net on this terrific Tuesday evening. Trivia question. Well, let me see here. Light up my phone here real quick. My mom messaged me and she says she thinks it's C. My dad thinks it's B. The wife and I have been going back and forth, and we both think E, Echo. So I'll go with Echo and see where that lands. And hope everybody out there is doing good and stuff. And it's been kind of a long day here. My wife went into work, got up this morning, she wasn't feeling too good, went into work, started feeling even worse, and called somebody to cover her shift, went down to stat care, and she has water behind her ears and vertigo. So she's in the bedroom, laying down, listening via scanner, and taking it easy. So we're just going to go from there and see how it goes, guys. But with that, and try to live that $5 dream a nickel at a time. Hi. All right, that's enough ranting for me, guys. With that, this is KE8UIB. I'm going to hand this back over to Net Control. Thank you for running the net, Gary. Great job. 73, y'all.
KE8UIB, living the $5 driven nickel at a time. Oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. I've seen him. Hard at work. Nickel at a time. Yep, that's John. Okay, got you down for Echo, John, and we'll see how it lands. We'll clear with UIB. Let's pick up NTAD. Good evening, Dave. This is W8 to WKY. What do you have for us this evening?
Hello there, Gary. Everybody on the net. All the listeners to the Club Net tonight. It was a beautiful day today. I was busy pretty much all day, and it got up over 80 degrees on my car thermometer, and even though there was a very little breeze, I would have taken the boat out today had I not been working all day. I got Friday off, I think. Actually, tried to get somebody to schedule an appointment. We'll see what happens on Friday. It was just so gorgeous. Couldn't have had a better day. Went down to the Copley Fairlawn school boarding meeting today and had a much warmer reception than I did on the barometer net this morning. Let's see. Trying to see if my kid might design a logo for our big band. If anybody's into big band music, we are at the Jenks, Jenks, in Cuyahoga Falls, right off the river there, across from the hotel. I don't know if it's a Holiday Inn or whatever. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I don't think there's a cover charge or anything. The garage door should probably be open. We're doing a 1960s and 70s jazz set, including Copacabana and The Odd Couple and Peter Gunn and stuff like that. And then we're doing a Latin set with a bunch of bossa novas and sambas and things like that. So looking forward to a great night of music tomorrow at the Jenks. If you can get there, come by and say hi. I will miss the meeting on Thursday. I'm going to go see the Cleveland Orchestra concert play the Rite of Spring. So please give my 73s to everybody at the meeting, and I'll catch everybody at the next one. Back to W8WKY, NTAD.
All right, Dave. Very good. Sounds like a fun time. Big band jazz, man. I'll tell you, my mother-in-law would be all over that one, man. I'll tell you, she is a big time band aficionado for sure. Dave, thanks for the information. If you're free tomorrow night, take Dave up on it. Yeah, that'll work. All right, we'll clear with NTAD. Oh, and I'm sorry, Dave, did you give me an answer to the trivia question? I didn't hear it if you did. NTAD, back to you.
Oh, thank you, Gary. No, that was my fault. I forgot to do that. I was discussing that with my daughter, and we were trying to decide whether yellow flowers that were marigolds, although I wasn't familiar with the moon thing about them, or Indian, and we were talking about like Indian yellow curry and stuff like that. So Indian would have been the other Indian. So I'm going to go with letter C, Charlie, as our guest between me and Lex. Back to you there, Gary, NTAD.
All right, Dave, thank you for that answer. And I will say this, interestingly enough, you picked letter C, and you know Shorter's postulate, but then again I remembered I'm not Eric. All right, Dave, tell that lovely daughter of yours that we all said hello. You take care of yourself and have a great evening. Have a great concert tomorrow and enjoy the Rite of Spring on Thursday. Okay, we'll clear with NTAD. Let's pick up N8JET. Bill from Avon, good evening. How are you, and what do you have for an answer to the trivia question?
W8WKY and the group. This is NAJET. Well, I just got creamed in an online chess game, which is not unusual. What is unusual is how early in the game it happened. So I haven't a clue as to the trivia, so with a very, very scientific eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I'm going to go with B, Bravo. It's also the initial for my name, so what the heck. Back to you.
All right, Bill. Eeny, meeny, miny, B. Got you down for B for Bravo there. My wife plays a card game online. I think it's, I can't remember. Euchre. She plays Euchre online, and she's addicted to it. Man, she's always playing it. So, and, it's just one of those things. She got introduced to it and has not stopped. Okay, Bill, we'll clear with you. Thanks for being here this evening. Thanks for saying hello. Appreciate that. We'll clear with NAJET, and let's pick up Tom, KA8MNT. Good evening, Tom. How are you, and how's Linda doing?
W8WKY, this is KA8MNT. Good evening, Gary, and everybody else that's on the net. I've looked at these answers, or distractors, and I don't know. I'm going to go with the most outrageous one on there. D. LPP. And we'll go from there. Let's see. With that being said, Linda's doing pretty good. We have a doctor's appointment for her on Thursday, and we're going to find out what's rocking there after her heart monitor. 2 weeks of heart monitoring that she was under. So we'll find out what's going on. I hope. And to those of you that weren't on the barometer net this morning, I want to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers for my grandnephew that became ill in Hawaii. Spent 2 weeks in the ICU there, and then finally got home Monday morning about 3 o'clock in the morning. He's now in the Cleveland Clinic with his regular doctors in that there. So, not that they didn't get good care in Hawaii, it's just they didn't know his history. So, he's back, and the family's all happy and kind of breathing a slight sigh of relief. So, thank you very much again, everybody. The family and us deeply appreciate it. Oh, let's see. I had something stupid to say, and I can't remember what it was, so evidently it wasn't worthy of saying. Oh, I do have a question about the fox hunt, and if I remember, I'll bring it up at the meeting Thursday night. So with that, I'll turn everything back over to W8WKY from KA8MNT.
Tom, I got to tell you, if you got your email today, you got an agenda for the meeting this Thursday, which I think it has fox hunt on there. I do believe, or that will be part of the build thing. So one way or the other, we'll talk about it. That's for sure. Okay, Tom, thanks for being here. My very best to Linda. I do hope that she's feeling much better. So we are pulling for both of you. That's for sure. All right. Hopefully, we'll see you Thursday. We'll clear with KA8MNT, and let's pick up my neighbor, John, W2JLS. Good evening, John. What say you, sir?
Whiskey 8 Whiskey, Kilo Yankee, as hosted by Mr. Gary, Alpha Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra. Good evening, neighbor. Good evening on your ears, and everyone up there listening on on the club net tonight. This is W2JLS. I like the question, and I like the choices. Nice broad selection to choose from. I was thinking along those same lines as Nick, with respect to this maybe cow urine, and taking Indians properly on the other side of the planet, Indians, and they're the cow. So I'll go with cow urine on the answer to the trivia question tonight. And I did gather we've got a Thursday meeting this week. I'm going to try to make it out there and catch up with you folks. It seems like it's been a stretch since I've been to a meeting. Maybe I missed 2 or 3 this year. So I'll try to catch up with you guys. Anyway, thanks for having me, Gary. I wish everybody a great night.
W8WKY repeater PL1 14.8.
All right, John, good to hear you this evening, sir. W2JLS, W8WKY here. It's springtime. We'll be walking the dog. We'll be going by your house on Gresham there. Always looking for you. And looking at the skyline above your house, seeing if there's any new antenna activity or anything like that going on. A lot of fun, and I am so looking forward to this warm weather that is just on our doorstep, but then, of course, it's going to rain. I did get my front yard mowed. That was a good thing, and that was just an incredible job. I had to mow it twice, and it was a big job. Now, the back I can't touch yet because it's a swamp. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But anyway, we'll get to it. It'll dry out eventually. John, take care. Have a great evening. And don't be a stranger. Come on down Thursday. We'll go have some Mexican food and just have a good time. That sounds like a plan. W2JLS, have a great evening. Let's see. John, WO3X, my favorite zero station. Good evening, John. What say you?
Good evening, Gary, and all on the net. This is WO3X. That's funny. I was at the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Hamfest, and I was in the area. I was the sales area supervisor, and so there were the sheets for the mobile check-in, and whoever took mine wrote me as W03X. So that's funny there. Let's see, the trivia question, I'm also going to go with D Delta. And hearing Booker talking about his neck and the trucks reminds me of a long time ago in the mid-1950s, when, for 20 years I lived at 85 Thomas Street there in Crafton. And so all the houses on the odd-numbered side of the street were these doubles. But then toward the end of the street, the even number houses were way old. They were probably built in the late 1800s. But anyhow, Mr. Tisnell was a railroad engineer, and so up until a few years before this, when he was complaining, he was an engineer on steam engines. Well, when they switched to the diesels, he said that his back would get sore because they spend a lot of time idling. Both the steam engines and the diesel engines, they spend a lot of time idling. And when the diesel engines are idling, he said that they're bouncing, and it made his back sore. So, whereas the steam engines, when they're idling, they're not doing anything. That's funny that Brooker mentioned that his neck got messed up from the trucks, and so I guess from 38 years of bouncing. So with that, back to the net. W8WKY. This is WO3X.
WO3X, W8WKY. Okay, John, got you down for Delta, and it's tough. Just even driving a car. I mean, I go to Texas, and we drive. It's 20 plus hours, depending on how much and how long you stop. So we do it in 2 days, and I got to tell you, after driving about 12 hours or so, I mean, I can hardly move. You get up, and it's like, okay, are my legs going to take me forward? As a matter of fact, I got a friend who had a procedure, something like what Brooker's describing. He ended up buying a Tesla because he can't move his neck. He can't turn around. So he wanted something with a whole bunch of electronics, which is what he got when he bought a Tesla, so that he wouldn't have to turn around and do that stuff. He can look in, screens and stuff and know what's going on around him. So that is a tough surgery, and I'll tell you, vehicles. I never really did a big truck like that, but a car beats me up, so I can imagine what a truck would do. Okay, we'll clear with WO3X. Let's pick up AF8AKL. This is W8WKY. Good evening.
It is KF8AKL, Kilo. Had a good day today. Another buddy came over. I think he's listening to the net now, and helped me get things set up for a 40-meter dipole out in the yard. So I was up on the roof and up in a tree, and hope to get that set up sometime tomorrow. And as far as trivia goes, I will go with the urine option as well. It seems to hold its color pretty well through lots of other processes, so I don't see why I wouldn't hold on to that later on. Mike in North Canton.
Oh man, you guys are all the artist is coming out in everybody. That's perfect. All right, the yellow, Indian yellow is really very. It's a unique color, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later. But it is a very desirable color for the likes of say Van Gogh even. So there you have it. All right, we'll clear with KF. I got the notation here, Mike. I appreciate that. KF8AKL, and brings me down to RF the way it's supposed to be in 8LTR. Good evening, Bill. What say you?
Well, good evening, Gary. Oh, my. Well, it's been kind of a longish day here, and I'm kind of definitely ready for 10 hours of good sleep. As far as the trivia goes, I don't know so much about cow urine, but I sure as Hades know about cat urine. And, man, I'll tell you, it is yellow. So I'm going to go with the birds of a feather idea here, and I'm going to go with the cow urine as well. Because cat piss, I'll tell you, it turns anything yellow, and you can't get it out. Plus, it just reeks to high heaven, of course. Oh, well, it's the way God made them, and you got to take the good with the bad. Anyhow, not much else cooking. Got everything unplugged. We're supposed to have a couple rounds of storms tomorrow, one about 5 a.m., one about 5 p.m., and they do have us in a Torcon index for tomorrow, so could get exciting. We'll probably want to keep an eye on the weather. Won't keep it any longer, Gary. See everybody Thursday night. Any LTR back to net.
All right, Bill, very good. Yeah, hopefully the storms will come on Wednesday and not on Thursday. Boy, we had a track record for our meeting night being underwater, so to speak. Okay, Bill, thanks for being here. Always a pleasure, my friend. N8 LTR will clear with you, which brings me to the bottom of the list. Oh, yeah. So let me take a moment and reiterate that this is the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. This is the Club Net. We do have a meeting coming up this Thursday, the 18th, 7 p.m. at the Eagles in Wadsworth. Additionally, Casa Nuestra in Rittman there, right around the corner from the Eagles. A few of us meet there for a little taco, enchilada, tamale dinner or so. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Nice meeting everybody at the restaurant. Anyway, all right. So with that, let me open it up for check-ins again. If you'd like to join this motley crew, give me a call. This is WAWKY. Looking for check-ins.
Kilo Delta 8, November Echo Oscar, KD8NEO, Darrell, Holmes County, in and out. When you said the bottom of the barrel, I heard you. Have a good evening. Thanks for the net.
Kilo Charlie 8, Hotel Delta Papa, KC8 HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
November 8, Zulu X-Ray Bravo, John, just in and out, N8 ZXB.
Yeah, KC8, Fox Queen Victor, KC8, FQ8.
All right, nicely done, almost. We had one collision there, and I really didn't get anything out of it, but here, stand by, I'll call you back. We have, let's see, KF8AKL. No, I'm sorry. KD8NEO, Darrell, good evening, sir. How are you? And we got you in the log, stand by, and we'll get right back to you. KC8HDP, N8ZXB, I have you in and out, N8XKB, and KC8FQV. All right, there was a bit of a collision. There was a couple stations there. You guys just canceled each other. Yeah, that's what happened. Come on down.
Kilo Delta 8, Charlie Mike November, Harv in Worcester.
KD8SLG, recheck.
KC3, QND, Genie, North Ridgeville.
All right, not too awfully bad. We got KD8CMN and KC3QND and a recheck from KD8SLG. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you letting me circle back and picking you up. That is really, really very good. Okay, let's do the recheck. I'll reread the trivia question, and we'll get on with the rest of our folks here. Recheck, KD8SLG. Go ahead. This is W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Yeah, it says, the tradition must continue. As long as Newsline asks for a haiku, I'm going to write one during that show. And I forgot to read it tonight, so let me enlighten you now. Ask me how I am. The world is my oyster, man. That is my reply. If you were on the barometer net this morning, it means more than maybe it does right now. Anyway, Gary, before I go, if you could fill us in on what's going on with the T-shirts for Field Day, that would be great too. KD8SLG, back to net control.
All right, the haiku master. Very nicely done. Nice haiku. There you go. You're getting better at that, Nick. Really, practice makes perfect, obviously. T-shirts. We're going to have T-shirts. It's all going to be rolled out Thursday night, and we'll get the. Well, you and I still have to have a discussion yet. That's at the moment, so we'll do that probably tomorrow. And by Thursday, we'll have everything ready to rock and roll it out, and then we'll put an order together, and we'll let John live in the $5 dream. Take care of it all. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be fun. This is going to be. It's really a nice design, and really pleased with how Sasquatch did. Just a superb design. I mean, really and truly. There you go. So we'll have to thank him. Anyway, all right. That's that. And here, let me give you the trivia question again, assuming I can find it again. All right, here's the question. What unusual source was historically believed to be the origin of the rare pigment Indian yellow? Your choices are lemon juice, letter A. Letter B, gold mines. Letter C, algae from the Indian Ocean. Letter D, cow urine. Letter E, man in the moon marigolds. There you have it. All right, let's start with KD8NEO. Daryl, good evening. What say you, sir?
Thank you there, Net Control, KD8NEO. Well, we'll get the tribute out of the way. We'll go with B there. Might be a little blindsided. You know, I just kind of wonder, the bottom of the barrel or the back of the bus? By God, I answered all that there. I'm like Johnny. I sit at the back of the room there. Learn a lot. Welcome everybody down to Nullsburg Net. It starts here in about 4 minutes. 146670 PL71. Come on down and welcome us. Charlie will welcome you right in. Thanks for doing the net. Back to Net Control, KD8NEO.
All right, Daryl, thanks for being here this evening. Yeah, back of the bus, bottom of the barrel. Yeah, that's that's where we hang, and that's where all are welcome. There you have it. Daryl, always a pleasure, my friend, and we'll see you. Yeah, we'll get there. I'm running a little late today, but we'll be all right. We'll clear with KD8NEO. Daryl, you have a good evening. Let's pick up Jerry, KC8HDP. Good evening, Jerry. What say you?
Well, good evening to you, Gary, and to everyone on the net. Just got back from Wayne County Skywarn training and was there representing amateur radio and CERT. So had a good in-session training. I'm going to give my answer as Echo for the trivia question. Marigolds are good for repelling pests, and maybe it's good for dye also. Looking forward to seeing everyone Thursday evening at the meeting. With that, I'll send things back to you, Gary. W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP 73.
All right, Jerry, thanks for being here, and thanks for stopping by after your training there. It sounds like it went well, and that's always a good thing. Maybe Eric will check in here in a second. We'll see. All right. right, we'll clear with KC8HDP. And let's see, next was N8ZXB. He's in and out. Thanks for stopping by. Brings me down to KC8FQV. Mark, you're late today. What's going on?
Well, the grass was green. Money. No. But it was green. We were out chopping grass. Yep, at that time of year again. One side's so thick, there's any animals in that stuff. And they didn't move. Well, they're chopped up now. If they were slow movers, they were small, and they didn't move. Well, they got chopped because that grass was so thick. It was like shag carpeting. Remember that? Shag carpeting? That grass was like a real high pile. But I'm going to say Charlie. I'll just take C. We'll try that. And other than that, we'll send it back to net. And yeah, I forgot. I was going to go to the Skywarn tonight, and then when he said, "Oh, I was there," I said, "Oh." And I knew it was on the 16th, because there's one on the 15th. I think 15th was Mass. I think it might have been Mansfield or Ashland, and tonight was Stark or Woot Wayne. But there is an online version, I think the 30th of April. So we'll send it back to net, KSFQV.
KC8FQV, this is WAWKY. All right, Mark. Yeah, a lot of people went to that. I know. Eric did. Jerry did for sure. He just checked in. And there's some others around if you need that. I think it's every 2 years they want you to do that, either 2 or 3 years. I forget. I think it's every 2 years they'd like you to re-up that certification. So if you're interested in Skywarn, then we need to, just go online and check that out. And we might have some information at the meeting on Thursday. I'll take a look as well. Okay, we'll clear with FQV. Let's pick up Harv, KD8CMN. This is W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KD8CMN. Good evening, Gary, and everyone that's checked in tonight. As far as the trivia question goes, the only thing I can remember about Man on the Moon marigolds was the effects that gamma rays had on them. And that's going back, 35 years. So I believe I'm going to go with the cow urine. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a great evening. It's KD8CMN.
All right, Harv, I will say that was quite astute of you. Yeah, stand by. We'll give you the explanation here in just a little bit. KD8CMN, we'll clear with you. Let's pick up Jeannie, KC3QND. Good evening, Jeannie. How you been?
KC3QND here. I've been pretty good. It was a beautiful day again today. It was odd and end day. You start something and something didn't go right, so you left that alone. You went to something else, that didn't go right. So you could leave that and go to something else. Well, I gave up. Nothing was going right, so I was trying to do outside stuff, and the lawnmower belt come off, and then I went to get gas and for the lawnmower, and the price of gas went up, so I was mad about that. So after the belt come off the mower, I just turned it over to Pete and said, done for the day. So there I am, done for the day. Made supper. We had sketties and salad and watched Wheel of Fortune and the ball game's on. Gonna finish that up. And then have a dish of ice cream maybe. So with that's my day, Gary. And I'm gonna go with, I don't know what to go with. I'll just say B. Bravo. I don't know. Have no clue. So you have a wonderful evening, and you have a wonderful net, and you're doing a great job. And I'll turn this all back over to you. And hello to everybody else on the net. Over to you, Gary.
All right, Jeannie, thanks for that. Thanks for being here this evening. Yeah, it's a bummer when the equipment fails on you. I mean, when you're really willing and going out there and doing the work, then the equipment fails, and boy, is that a bummer. So, new belt on the mower, you'll get that done, and that'll be the end of it. So, anyway, Jeannie, you'll be out there again real soon. I'll tell you, it took me. My front yard isn't that big, and it took me a long time. I jacked the mower up, the mower deck up, mowed it once, just didn't pick up any grass clippings or anything else, just mowed it, and then set it down just a little bit, like one increment, and mowed it again, but picked up the grass, and then that's a whole nother ball game. But it looks good. It looks good. But man, what a lot of work it is in the spring. That's for sure. You're mowing twice a week, and the backyard I haven't even got to. It's just still way too wet to put a mower on. Okay, with that, we'll clear with Jeannie. I'm at the bottom of my list. This is the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net, and we're going to go right to the trivia question. If you still want to check in, just stand by. We'll pick up any stragglers here in just a minute. Again, let's see. We'll just the trivia question is: what unusual source was historically believed to be the origin of the rare pigment Indian yellow? Letter A was lemon juice, and lemon juice is not the source of Indian yellow. It's a common misconception and unrelated to the pigment's origin. Gold mines do not produce Indian yellow. The pigment's origin is unique and tied to a specific cultural and historical context. The algae from the Indian Ocean. Let me grab a second. While algae can produce pigments, Indian yellow specifically comes from a different unconventional source. Man in the Moon marigolds. That's my favorite distractor on the whole thing. Man in the Moon marigolds is not a specific type of marigold flower in botanical terms. Instead, it's a literary and metaphorical expression used in the play The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds. That was a play by Paul Zindel. The title refers to the idea of beauty and growth in challenging or unlikely circumstances as symbolized by the marigold flower. Kudos to, let's see, what was that, Harv, KD8CMN, who caught the gamma ray part of that whole thing. Great play, and I saw it many, 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 many years ago. Okay, let me grab a second. The correct answer is letter D. Cow urine refers to the traditional belief that Indian yellow pigment was derived from the urine of cows. They were actually undernourished cows in Mangur, India. They were fed exclusively mango leaves. This practice was thought to produce a vibrant yellow pigment that was highly sought after by artists, including Van Gogh, and is featured in Van Gogh's bright yellow stars in his masterpiece, Starry Night. So there you have it, trivia for Tuesday night. I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of fun. And again, I really enjoyed the Man in the Moon Marigold Distractor. I just, and I got a couple on it. Yeah, got a couple of you guys on it. So anyway, fun question, and I do appreciate everybody's participation. All right, with that, I'm going to see if there's anybody else that would like to join us on this Tuesday night. Don't forget the the other net that we always go to, and man, it's escaping me. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to this net. Anybody else want to check in? Give me a call.
Good evening. This is Dave, N8 PTP at Green Forest.
KD2HCE, in and out.
Oscar X-ray, that's KE8, VOX, Scott, and Vermilion. I'll be in and out.
WatchNet.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. WatchNet, that's it. Yeah, go down and tell Charlie I sent you. Right, there you go. Okay, we have N8PPT, I think it was Dave. We also have KD2HCE in and out. And Scott, good to hear you this evening. KE8VOX, got you in and out as well. Scott, thanks for stopping by this evening. Take it away. This is WAWKY. Dave, N8, I think it was PPT, I believe. Might have got that wrong, but if you're still there, come on down.
Good evening. This is Dave, N8, Papa. Well, had a good day today, and hope everybody else did too. An evangelist at our church is giving a revival, and he's doing a great job. From Georgia, so he's got a southern twang to his preaching. Does a good job. Got grass mowed today, took the hydroplane out there and took care of it. But I'll tell you what, the yard's wet down. So hope everybody else is having a good evening. This is N8PPP.
All right, Dave, thank you for that. N8PPP. Thank you for being here this evening. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. We certainly appreciate it. All right, we're at the bottom of the net, the bottom of the list, and time to turn this back to regular amateur radio use. So at this time, at 9:13, I will close Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net, and we have 37 check-ins, including myself. I want to thank all the listeners and all of you who participated in tonight's net. Remember, it is your participation that keeps this net alive and as successful as it has been. Don't forget to check into the Drive Time Sarah Barometer net Monday through Saturday, starting at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m. Oh, man, yeah, 7 a.m. Be there. Lots of good stuff happens in the morning. All right, next Tuesday, let's see, who will be here? That would be N8WB, I think. That would be, no. Anyway, we'll be here next Tuesday, so if you would like to join us, please come back. And again, don't forget the barometer net in the morning. With that, this is WAWKY, my personal call, AA8CS. The name here is Gary, and I return this repeater back to regular amateur radio use. 73, everybody. We'll see you Thursday night at the meeting. This is AA8CS, saying 73. Everyone have a good evening. AA8CS is clear.
AA8CS, KD8CMN, you still there, Gary?
W8WKY.